From Haiti, Haiti's government says that they've buried 150,000 bodies now, but that's just going to be a portion of the death toll. They aren't counting bodies still in the rubble, buried by family members, or any deaths outside Port-au-Prince. And there's now a desperate need for tents. The plan is to move the homeless out of Port-au-Prince and into new tent cities, but there aren't enough tents or places to put them. The UN says there are about 1 million homeless in Haiti right now, and that includes Liagan, southwest of the capital. About 85% of the people there lost their homes. They're just now receiving their first mattresses and blankets. Even before the quake, survival was tough in Haiti's most desperate slum, and now food supplies are being delivered into Cité Soleil. Our Carl Penhall reports that for every person who gets food today, thousands of others will go away hungry. UN peacekeepers and U.S. military leaders admit they can't feed everyone every day, but they say they do have a plan.
Provide food for a percentage of them every day, so over a 2-week period, every citizen has sufficient food to last for that 2 weeks.
UN peacekeepers say that the security situation in Cité Soleil is under control. Nearly 2 weeks since the quake hit, some people are still holding out hope that their loved ones will be found alive in the rubble. Why? Well, CNN's Hala Garani shows us why.
It was the survival story rescuers called a miracle. Wisman Jean-Pierre pulled out alive from the rubble of a building after being trapped for almost 12 days. And this is Wisman today, in a French hospital. Were you afraid that nobody would find you? I asked.
No,
never, he replies. Still weak, but overall healthy. This is a family story. Wisman's brother Ensu visits him in the hospital. He never lost hope. He got the attention of rescuers when he heard his brother cry out for help. From the hospital, we offer Ensu a ride back to his house, an underground shack. He moved here with his wife and 4 children when the quake destroyed their home. They share this space with cousins and other family members. There's no electricity. We use flashlights in the tiny living area. In the hallway, we show the family tape of Wisman's rescue. Ensu is seeing this for the first time. His wife cries. I thought he was dead, she says. But after the dramatic rescue, the good news story of Wisman's survival against the odds, comes the grim reality of what lies next, of what the future holds. I have no hope, Ensu says. You want to leave? Where to, I ask. To anywhere but here. Wisman will come to live here after he is discharged from hospital in a few days. He flirted with death underground for 12 days. And when he comes out, it's in an underground shack that he and his family will try to rebuild their lives. Hala Garani, CNN, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
A whole new problem emerging right now in Haiti. So many doctors are now answering the call for medical aid that there are actually too many in some areas, but not enough in others. And the lack of coordination may be costing lives. Our Dr. Sanjay Gupta had an up-close look at the effort to get help to where the sick people are.
We're in the lobby here at General Hospital, and one of the things that you'll notice right away, I noticed, is that things are definitely better here than they were even just a couple of days ago. Lots of different equipment here, gloves. They didn't even have gloves to perform some of these operations here just a couple of days ago, all kinds of suture. One thing that's worth pointing out, though, even in the midst of all this, you still have instruments like this. That's a Black & Decker drill. That's what they have to use to be able to perform these operations, to actually put the pins into the legs. So it's by no means perfect. But if you look around here, take a look at all the operations that are going on, this is better than it was 3 days ago. But here's something I didn't expect. They actually think there may be too many doctors. Doctors stepping over one another, lack of organization. People watching what's happening and come flooding down into an area like this. So we're about to go into this meeting where they're actually getting all the chiefs of the various departments together to try and coordinate this so they can try and be as efficient as possible.
I think all of the groups are well staffed. The issue is coordinating staff, not repeating or overlapping.
So that means some of these doctors may be sent to other hospitals
where they are short surgeons.
Probably should round first in the area where we think all the sick patients are, and then have a way to go through, sweep the campus once a day, and look for patients, who are sick.
Have you ever been curious how they set up an operating theater, a whole system in the middle of an earthquake? We're looking at it over here. Literally writing on the wall, here's OR1, here's OR2, here's a triage area. They got post-op areas over here and here, pre-op areas over here. They actually separated this by the Haitian doctors, the native doctors controlling one operating room, Mount Sinai over here, the Swiss operating room over here. That's how it works. Lots of maps, lots of coordination going on. But one thing I want to point out, and I think this is really important, we are still talking about Port-au-Prince, which is over here. We now know that so much, there's been a lot of impact in other areas as well, such as Léogâne, and the plan now is to start taking some of those medical capabilities and moving them to some of the outlying areas. There are a lot of things that are necessary, John. I don't want to leave people under the impression that everything's fine. They're still going to need primary care doctors. They're still going to need nurses, who are the real workhorses of hospital, both acute and chronic care nursing. Rehabilitation. We've been talking so much about these crush injuries. These patients need rehab longer term, and also prosthetics. If you don't have a leg and you don't have a way to get around here in Port-au-Prince, very, very difficult. So these are some of the challenges going forward. That's just a little glimpse at one of the hospitals in terms of struggling with manpower issues and organization.
Sanjay, we had heard from so many doctors in the early going in the aftermath of the earthquake that they wanted to get down there, they wanted to pitch in, they couldn't find a ride down there. They certainly couldn't get into the country. There's still a lot of people, I'm sure, out there who would like to get down and help, but they can't. So what would you suggest that they do?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, it is tough to get into the country now because, you have the airstrip at Port-au-Prince, which is very, very busy. Lots of different planes coming in from all sorts of different organizations. Best bet is to link up with an existing organization that has some sort of infrastructure on the ground. It's going to be hard for anybody to just sort of come on their own and try and establish something here. The other thing, and I think this is very important, is that there's a lot of interest right now in a couple of weeks now after the earthquake. But the need, John, as you know, is going to be it's going to be a strong need in the months, weeks, certainly going forward. So if you can't get in now and you can spend some time a few weeks from now, the need's going to be probably just as great, John.
All right. Sanjay Gupta for us this morning. Doc, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.